Hey fam, Skye Hanley here, the limitless nutritionist. Who am I? What am I doing? And challenge queen from Limitless Health Co. Wanting to talk to you about an amazing subject today, which is to stop asking for permission in your business and your life. Or really, it's kind of to bring awareness, good word, to where you are asking for permission in your business and your life, and maybe what to do instead, or how to unpack that from where it is showing up. Now, if you are new to me or new to my YouTube channel or watching this back, then please hit the like, the subscribe button, the replay, whatever, just to make sure that you don't miss out on any more of the videos that we're posting, juicy topics like this, stopping asking for permission in your business and your life. So let's jump in. Now, what I want to say to you about today, you guys know me, I'm a little bit of a scatterbrain. I'm full of worth, I swear, but I go all over the place, all right? And today, look, it's going to be a little bit like that because there is so much juiciness to unpack in relation to this subject, all right? So I want to put a lot of different concepts out there, and I trust that instead of me sitting here and saying, these are the top 3 things that you should take away from this, point number 1, blah, 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 point number 2, whatever. I trust that wherever you are in yourself right now, wherever you are in your life, wherever you are in your business, that if I pop a lot of different concepts here for you today, I trust that the ones that are going to be most relevant to you are going to resonate. Does that make sense, you guys? So you are going to hear, even if it's just one thing, from this entire video, that you go, oh my gosh, yes, that makes sense now. Or, oh gosh, maybe I can change that. So instead of me dictating it to you, we're going a little free form today. Is that cool, you guys? Asking permission? First thing, right? Asking permission first thing in my video. That's quite funny. So look, where I want to start with this is that often the reason that we are asking for permission in our business or our life is, is often due to maybe maybe fear of judgment, fear of rejection, or fear, or anxiety around acceptance and things like that. So we feel as if we need to somehow ask permission to even just be ourselves sometimes, right? And how this might be showing up in your business could be perhaps on social media. Maybe you're not showing up on social media as much as you'd like. Maybe you're not using your personal profile, or just showing up on your personal profile because you don't want to bother, your friends and family and other people and things like that, and so sometimes we feel as if we need to squash ourselves, right, to fit into this perfect little box, all right? And the thing is that often what is going on there is that it's normally a mirror, right? So it's not always that we have a fear that other people are going to judge us. It's that we're actually already judging ourselves. So the first thing that I kind of want to put here as something that I want you to reflect on is, where in your business and your life are you actually judging yourself? If everything is a mirror, right? So if you're sitting there and thinking, oh my gosh, people are going to judge me if I post a video on my personal profile, or if I start getting a little bit too big for my boots, or maybe they're going to judge the language that I'm going to use, or they're going to think that I'm like some dirty used car salesman, or some kind of multi-level marketing, this and that, or whatever it is. Like, what is the story that you are telling yourself? All right, because everything is a mirror. So whatever you are projecting out onto others is probably what you're actually, already saying to yourself in your own mind. So what does that look like? Because it's really important that we unpack, those things that are coming up for us, and we bring some light and we bring some compassion to them. Because more often than not, what it is that we are thinking about ourselves is not necessarily what other people are thinking about us either. So we might be sitting in some fear of judgment or some fear of rejection or some fear around acceptance or fear about being successful or fear of failure. You can have both, right? And it is valid. Our fears come from, our past, our history, our needs, our unmet needs, the emotions that are arising, and then they show up as surface-based stuff. And the surface-based stuff that could be showing up for you is, not showing up on social media, not using your personal profile, maybe not making a video because, you don't want to be judged, or you're scared to get your message out there. Right? But if you're here and you're watching a video of mine, what I know to be true about you is that you are an impact-driven human being, which means that you are in an industry that is service-based, in servitude of others, in servitude of others' well-beings, right? That is something to be proud of. And why would anyone judge you based on that? And if they are judging you based on that, then that judgment actually says more about them than it does you. All right. What I also need you to understand is, there are no God complexes here. There are no savior syndromes, right? Which means that you are already not here to serve everyone. All right. You are not the savior of all, the one and only. It's that simple, right? We don't need to have a God complex. So it's almost like in business, a rite of passage for somebody to unfollow you or not like you or to leave a weird comment, and yes, even a dick pic on the odd occasion. I get sent those as well. Somebody will aggressively tell me that they think that I'm the worst and that I'm too loud and I have spiders all over my shirt, and then they'll send me a dick pic and I'll be like, okay, I don't understand. Are you angry with me or do you want to come on to me? I don't get it, right? Block and delete. It is a rite of passage in business because we need to be able to, and this is a lesson that my mum taught me, and I'm saying this with love, right? Get the fuck over ourselves. All right? And stand up and be seen in our own life. So what generally happens, again, with this sort of fear of judgment, and yes, we want to look at two sides of it. Where are we actually judging ourselves? Because it's probably you, it's not that you're necessarily judging everyone else or, thinking all these things, but you've probably actually internalized a lot of it and you're actually judging yourself in some way. And, or if other people are judging you, then number one, they are not your tribe, especially if you are out there just, doing your due the best you can, serving your amazing tribe, helping them with their, their life, their well-being, their fitness, their health, their nutrition, whatever it might be. Fuck yes to that, my friend. All right. And then often what can come off the back of this is we start to squash ourselves. We think, oh my goodness, I'm wearing spiders on my shirt. There's bright colors. I have crazy hair, right? So gosh, this isn't the norm. Maybe I need to be more normal. Maybe I need to not talk about woo-woo things. Maybe I need to start squashing myself or acting a bit more respectfully or not, like a crazy person, just to keep other people happy, right? But again, what that's actually about is other people projecting their limitations, their beliefs, their triggers onto you. Alrighty? Because, if they're triggered, if somebody watches one of my videos and they're triggered because my top is rainbow and there's rainbow in the background and I have big hair or something like that, if they are triggered by that, that actually speaks to their limitations. It does not say anything about me. I am allowed and have permission to be me. And rainbow and color, and I use myself as the example so that you have permission, without having to ask for it, for you to turn up and be you also. Whatever that is, whatever your expression. You don't have to wear rainbow, that's totally cool. You don't have to have sparkly things all pierced through your face or whatever it might be. You get to be you. That's awesome, right? There is no other you out there. Unapologetically you are enough. So you do not need to ask for permission from anyone, permission to be yourself, permission to, and I wrote words down because it's so interesting, right? That we think we need to ask for permission to be allowed to be excited. You know, like if you've got something amazing going on in your life, you shouldn't feel worried that people are going to judge you if you choose to share it with the world. You get to be excited. That is fucking amazing. It is life, you know? And again, in life, and I'll make another video on this about fun and play and celebration, because again, as part of squashing and sticking ourselves in these safe little boxes because we're, you know, we don't want to trigger other people due to their limitations, not yours, right? We often forget that celebration is part of the journey. It's not about the destination, it's the journey that we're on. So if we're not celebrating, you know, that we're excited or that something's happened, we're missing the juiciness, the awesomeness of life. You do not have to ask permission to allow to be proud about what it is that you do. You know, what is your job? And, you know, we say job, but oh my gosh, like we get to make impact and income in people, you know, we get to make impact in people's lives and we get to make income at the same time. And that is okay. You are allowed to do that. You have permission to do that, right? So if you have an amazing challenge or signature system or some information that could change somebody, you are allowed to put that out there and you are allowed to be proud and excited and celebrate. You do not need to ask permission. You do not need to squash yourself into somebody else's preconceived idea of a box that they think you need to be in. And the other thing is, who are they anyway? It's always funny that we're like, oh, I don't know, they might judge me or they this and that or da-da-da. Like, who the fuck is they? Like, they can go fuck off, right? Like this sort of idea that these people, and again, if they do judge you and if they do, you know, like whatever that is, block, delete, you know, if it's a family member, you can still block their comment, you can still delete it, and you can say to them, look, I'm actually, you know, showing up on social media at the moment, you know, and I'd really appreciate it if you didn't say some negative things like that, because, you know, I'm really, you know, trying to, you know, make an impact in people's lives, and I would think as a family member, you could be happy about that for me. All right. You do not need to ask for permission to be seen, to be loud, to be successful, all right, and to make money. You know, we have a lot of money stories going on in our head. We think it's evil. Millionaires are evil, you know, all those, you know, those rich fucks down the road or whatever it is that, you know, maybe you grew up hearing. And so you keep squashing yourself because you think, oh gosh, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't want to be too successful. You know, I better stay safe because it could be triggering to somebody else. Right? Like, no, you get to shine. You get to shine, and you do not need anyone's permission to do that. Alrighty? Now, the other thing that I want to say, as you see me just glance down, because I want to make sure that I cover all the things that I wanted to cover in this video, is that, you know, again, if we are triggering someone, right, if they are judging us because we choose to show up, because we wear some bright clothes, or because we speak a particular way, or we're proud to help people, or we're excited because something amazing happened in our life, if that is triggering to another person, if they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe, you know, like, oh, you shouldn't be putting yourself out there like that, you know, like I said, they are actually reflecting onto you their limitations, their non-acceptance, their judgment, their fears that are showing up for them. We can send them compassion for that because they are in a fear state, because they are being triggered, right? But at the end of the day, you know, and I made a video on this before, so, you know, check it out if you want to, discernment. They are still allowed to be there, and they are allowed to have their opinion and feel the way that they feel, and they are in trigger, and that might bring up some fear for them, but you are okay, you are safe, you are enough, and you get to be successful and show up as your fully expressed self. You do not need to squash yourself based on somebody else's limitations. And what's worse is, do not imply that suffering upon yourself, you know, and apply limitations to yourself because it makes somebody else uncomfortable for you to be proud. Why would you suffer like that? You know, there's enough toughness in life, you know, life is messy, life is amazing, life is, you know, all these different things, but you do not need to punish yourself with the suffering of others, all right? And remember, discernment, you know, massive and radical self-responsibility. That means that their trigger or their, you know, whatever is coming up for them because you decided to show up on social media, or you made a video, or, you know, you decided to post something that made you feel happy and successful. You don't need to squash yourself, all right? Discernment, you get to do you, buddy. right? You are in charge of your emotions and they are in charge of their own. You are not in charge of their emotions. You are not responsible for them. Their reactions are their own. All right. So look, that is my video on stopping asking. Does that sentence even make sense? On stopping asking for permission in your business and your life. All right. You do not need to ask for permission. It is such a super important thing to unpack, what is coming up for you, right? Because we're triggered in it as well, right? Like if I say to you, go and make a video or something like that, show up for your tribe, you might be triggered in that too. It's not just that you think people are going to judge you, which again is a bit of a trigger, right? But it's also, I'm not enough. Maybe I'm not worthy. Maybe, what if I stuff up? I stuff up all the time. Didn't I stuff up at the beginning of this video? Like, oh my gosh, it just, it doesn't matter. Does it discount the passion in my voice, the willingness to show up, to be fallible, to be here for you? No, it doesn't. Right? And if you're judging me, that's okay too. If you don't like that I'm wearing, this is a bit loud, isn't it? It's crazy, right? Like spiders and rainbow, like that's cool. I'm allowed to wear spiders and rainbow and have rainbow and lions and all sorts of things in the background, like that's cool. It doesn't mean that my message is any less valid. Alrighty? So look, stop asking for permission in your business and your life. You are enough. You are worthy. You are safe. You are loved. You deserve success. You deserve to be proud and excited and to celebrate, to put yourself out there, without fear of persecution. And if somebody does come back and say something, then just remember again, lessons from my mom, that it says more about them than it does you. They are just imparting their limitations, their triggers onto you. And if you can, just block and delete. It's a rite of passage. Trust me, as you grow in business, no God complexes. Remember, you are not here to be the savior of all. All right. It is okay for somebody to go, you're not really my person. That's okay. That's okay. We don't just be like, fuck you, buddy. Like, how dare you, all the rest of it. It's like, no, that's cool. Right? Like, I want to help the people who want to be helped by me. That's awesome. That's perfect. That's the way it should be. And you do not need to ask permission for that. All right, lovelies. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know how you feel about it. What's maybe come up for you. If you've got some fear of judgment or acceptance or not enoughism, we all have it. I think I did another video where I mentioned, I had some not enoughism coming up for myself too. It still creeps in on the odd occasion, but I catch it and I can go, oh, that's okay. There's that. But that doesn't have to be my, experience moving forward. It's just an old paradigm trying to keep me safe. Thanks for that, not enoughism, but that's not going to be my experience today, right? We retrain our brain. We can reprogram where you're at. And so look, if you do want some help with that, if you've got something to share, please comment below. If you feel like you're unsure and you want to unpack further, look, do reach out. I do have some amazing programs, the Beast Mode Business Bootcamp and the Business Frequency Shift, to help you unpack these things, to move through the world, your business and your life in a far greater, more expansive way where you are not weighed down by the limitations of others and you are not weighed down by the limitations of the punishment and the suffering that we sometimes impart on ourselves. Alrighty? Much love, you guys. Bye.